Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today we have a special show where we're here at the ABV Barrel Shop Tasting Bar. We're getting ready to try Old Hamer. I'm here with Darren McCroy. My name's Steve Akeley. What's up, Darren?
Nothing. What's up with you, Steve?
Not much. I assume this is Hamer. This is what McNew says. She's our resident Indiana person. She says,
got it.
Obviously, it's not Hammer because there's only one M.
Yep.
But at the same time, I don't know that she knows for sure. So, yeah.
I've definitely only called this brand Old Hammer before.
And
100%.
Everyone I've ever heard say they call it Old Hammer. So,
yep. And when you said the intro for the show, I looked at the bottles and like, wow.
Yeah. Because I don't know for sure. You could call, if it's like someone's last name, I don't know where it comes from. If it's someone's last name, well, our name's Hammer. That's how we spell it.
And the H could be silent, too.
It seems like it was Hamer, it would be Haymer. Hamer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We're relying on McNew, which is a problem, but that's what we're doing. So we'll be trying. We got 3 offerings from them. We'll talk about what they are and all that kind of good stuff after the break. For right now, though, Darren, I got a question for you. So I was driving through Columbia, Missouri today.
Okay.
On the way home.
Beautiful town.
Beautiful town. I was just on Highway 70, though. So
yeah. Not the best part of town.
not the most exciting part of Columbia, for sure. I was just passing through. By the way, I was on Highway 13 in the western side of the state, which is like a rural highway. 2 lanes each way, beautiful concrete. It's nicer than Highway 70.
Yeah.
Most of Highway 70 is 2 lanes on each side.
Yeah.
It's bigger than that because there's wide shoulders and all that.
And they're doing all that work on 70 right now. It's a nightmare.
70, I guess, will eventually be what it should be. That should be at least 3 lanes each way the whole way, if not 4. I mean, that's a major thoroughfare across the state. Not only used by Missourians, but anybody who's transporting.
And Indianapolis is like a big shipping hub, right?
Yeah.
And to get to Denver, which is another big hub,
it's
70 the whole way.
But anyway, Highway 13 embarrassed Highway 70 today. That was amazing. It was nice.
Nice.
Of course,
I'll have to go look for Highway 13. This sounds exciting.
There's no one driving on it, so I guess it'll be nice for a very long time. So that's good.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, as I was driving through Columbia, I wanted to think, what was your college plan? Because as I think about it, that's where you went to college. That's where we brought up Columbia. That's where you went to college. So you, of course, were a kid that liked going to the zoo, I guess, initially. That's how you get started, liking the zoo. You liked going there as a kid. You get interested in animals, taking care of them. You did a lot of internships. You worked up there, all that kind of stuff. And your plan was ultimately, at least at one point, maybe when you started college, maybe by that time it was already gone. I don't know. Well, that's why I want to find out the plan, was to be, you wanted to run a zoo, to be like, I don't even know who runs it now, but like Dr. Bonner or Charlie Hustle before that, the person running the zoo. That obviously, your career takes a turn. You go to work in the grocery business, then you come to work for us. But you graduate with a forestry degree. Is that common for someone in that role? Or
you got to remember, it's not really a forestry degree. I just call it a forestry degree because more people know what that is.
Right.
It was it's conservation education, which is very much up the zoo's.
Okay.
And that's why I didn't look at any other schools besides Mizzou. They were starting this conservation education program. My year was going to be the first class. I didn't go anywhere else.
So this would be a very common degree. What's the most common degrees, you think?
So
like veterinarian side? Like, or
no.
like biology?
Vets top out at vets almost always.
I guess because they make plenty of money.
It is biology, it is zoology, it is marine biology, and some business. Nowadays, it's a lot more business people.
Sure, because the animal people do the animal thing. They want someone who can run a business.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's changing to more degrees than work experience.
Right.
But like people like Hessel and Perkins worked at the zoo their whole life, right?
Right.
And were carnivore keeper. And
what stalls you out on the zoo career then? Did Schnooks get you? They got me. Schnooks got me.
So, yes.
When I graduated college, I wanted to be marketing. I wanted to work for an advertising firm, and I was working at Schnooks part-time, making about $25,000 a year. This we got to go back, folks. This is 1990. So I'm making about $25,000 a year working at Schnooks. And I get an offer to work at a big advertising firm, one of the biggest here in St. Louis, but they're offering me $17,000, and I turned it down, and I probably shouldn't have because I didn't really have any responsibilities. I could have taken the hit and then ultimately get in the career I like, but I didn't.
Yeah.
So Schnooks, I always say Schnooks got me because I was like, I can't take that big of a step backwards.
Partially, Schnooks got me. Like I realized I was making more money than I was going to be in a long time.
Right. And actually, if you did your whole career there, the payoff might have been at the end if you're running the whole place.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, COVID.
COVID guy.
I graduated during the height of COVID. There was no such things as conservation education jobs.
Okay.
And my dad, working at Schnooks, basically was like, boy, get your butt up here. I don't care how hard you work. They were drowning at this point, right? So
sure.
And everything was easier than my first month at Schnooks. Always. Every month was easier, even as I got taken on more and more responsibilities. The first month was just hell because it was right during COVID.
Right.
When there was no toilet paper, people were fighting over it. It was that time frame.
We went through, we remember the toilet paper, but we went through a phase where there was almost nothing on grocery shelves in general.
Yeah, and it would rotate through every section for the first year I was there, probably.
Yeah, crazy how... that time seems like it's ancient history already, and it's not really but a couple of years ago.
It's getting almost a half decade now,
but yeah. It's weird.
Yep.
The whole thing is weird. And again, didn't know... I mean, the early days, literally, because never dealt with anything like that. I didn't know if we're going to live or die or what. You don't even know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You watch the news, you think we're all just going to be dead here within a week or two at most. But that wasn't the case.
Oh, yeah. We've been going up in like crazy on likes recently.
Really? So someone, 3143.
Unlike.
That was an unlike.
Actually, we've had 2 unlikes today. We were at 45 when I walked in today.
Oh, that's not good to report here on the podcast. What the hell?
Hey,
someone please like us.
Save us.
I'd love to get back to at least 3145. We're down to 3143. It's taking a pretty bad hit here. So, yes. So, but we'll get back to it, I'm sure. So, but I don't know why they've been going up. There's been nothing.
Yeah, it's not like we've even had that many posts for us like over this weekend.
True.
It's really not been that much.
Light posts. Yeah. So who knows? I think the hat lady was getting ready to promote us. Maybe she put a post. I'll have to check her thing. So she has a good following, and that would be all new people to us.
Yeah,
she's never been in Missouri before, so that could be. So, you follow us, then they can see when we got things coming up, and that. So we'll see. I think that's going to be a good event. I think the hat one's going to be actually good. So we'll see. I'm kind of excited about it. So then at some point. When do you leave? Any ties with the zoo? I mean, I know you got personal friendships. You got people still there to this day. But when do you leave as far as any sort of working relationship? No volunteering, no working, no checks, no nothing.
I would say it was probably like February of 2020 was the last time I was actually worked there. I know I did like the winter summer camps and the wild lights and everything that year. But like almost the whole education department was furloughed for a little bit at the zoo.
I'm sure.
And so they really weren't ready to talk to, because I was technically a seasonal employee, even though I worked all throughout the year.
Right.
But I didn't have an
Did
hour.
they try to amp up like outdoor? Because at least they had the ability to be like, hey, this is an outdoor activity. You could do outdoor activities even during the worst of COVID. Were they trying to amp up stuff we're doing outside?
But kind of by the time that we figured that out, it was the middle of summer, and like you had to have plans already. So like The way that we ran summer camp, it was 2 groups of 200 kids, like 2 different camps at the same time. There's not enough space for that level.
Social distancing.
And 95-degree summer without knowing exactly what was going on. Like, they made the call to cancel everything pretty early.
Yeah.
So, I would say I probably worked like overnights or something a couple times in February, and that's about it.
So you worked there, and then did you think, well, that's it, I'm not, the zoo thing's over, or did you still hold out hope at that point?
Maybe for a little bit while there, I was like, yeah, I'll go back, go help out camp next year. Never even thought about going out to camp, which, I realized halfway through the summer, it was the first time not being involved in summer camp since 2005.
Right.
Because I'd been going there since I was in kindergarten. And
so either as an attendee or a worker, you've
been
associated with them since 2005.
And as a kid, I would just go to 2 camps a year, which is one of each, so 2 weeks. And then most of the time that I worked, even when I was volunteering there, I was working at least 7 of the 9 weeks of the summer.
Hell, you were probably out there at the same time as my kid. You are younger than her, but not that much younger. So she would have been, because she always did zoo camps and stuff like that. We would always, when they put out the camps, we would circle things, talk about them, what you're going to do, because we had plan out a whole summer of stuff for her to do. So the zoo was part of that, always part of that. So you guys were probably not that you'd been in the same group because she was older, but out there at the same time for sure.
And sometimes, some of the groups, the way they were broken up, were about 2 grades.
Okay.
So it could have been close sometimes.
Could have been close, yeah.
But also getting I usually went in late August because my mom taught summer school when I was younger, and then I also went to her summer school when I was younger.
I know one thing you didn't work on was handwriting.
Yeah. I knew that was coming. I almost said it for you, like before I even said the sentence.
I spent 0 time working on improving your penmanship, that's for sure.
Oh no, I did write Spain on my pair of lucky shoes a lot. It was one year when the World Cup was happening, and my friend in summer school loved soccer, and he hated Spain, and so I was like, I'm going to write Spain on my lucky shoes.
Okay.
And then Spain won it, I think.
Then Spain won. So have you been a fan of Spain ever since?
No.
No.
I honestly, not even sure it was Spain. Could have been Germany. Who knows?
Right, yeah. I'm the same way. I would only get interested. I would get interested in soccer if, like, in the World Cup, like USA was making a run. Then I'd get into it because I'm a patriot. I want the USA to win, of course, but I just don't care enough about soccer to pay any attention to it.
The only time I've really cared about soccer was
when the Steamers were around.
No.
You don't even know that.
I know.
That was actually exciting. That was like indoor soccer. That was like a thing. That was like super exciting for a very short time.
And they always had jerseys up on the wall at Smigalos. That's what I remember because I love Smigalos. But the women's national team always has, it seems like a couple players from St. Louis, but one of them was named Laura Chalupny. And
really?
She was from St. Louis. Her mom worked with my dad at Schnucks.
Really?
And so she was
the
like...
mom's name Laura Chalupny?
Maybe that's the mom. Because I did end up working with her when I was at Schnucks.
I know a mom named Laura Chalupny with daughters, a bunch of daughters. Karen Chalupny. There was another one, too, that was... so Karen was, like, a year younger than me. But then we had one that was probably 3 years younger than me. And then I don't know after that. Then there was some more.
Okay, so... I would say Laura Chalupny's more closer to your age than...
Doubtful she's a parent of...
Yeah, or the bakery... I don't remember. I think Laura Chalupny was the soccer player. Barb was the bakery manager. Barb Chalupny was more like your age.
Okay.
And then Laura was her daughter, who played for the... she was a defender for the national team.
Okay.
And...
I gotta think these are related.
Yeah,
the Chalupnys are very athletic, by the way.
Yeah.
The Chalupny family that I know of. They live in Oakville, though, so or they did. I have no idea where they live now.
Yeah. They might be related. Who knows?
Yeah.
I remember hearing Barb talk about Oakville before, so...
Okay. Yeah.
But it could even be like a younger sister or something, or cousin or something. They're probably related, though. That's not that common of a last name.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. But she was on the national team, and she won a couple World Cups.
Oh.
And I got really into watching that, just because I had met her before, just randomly hanging out at the grocery store, seeing Dad, and
right.
And he's like, hey, she plays for the U.S. national team. I'm like, well, that's cool.
That's cool.
So
my favorite sport right now, the only sport that I like is WNBA, and I like the Indiana Fever.
Yeah.
I'm into that right now.
So, yeah. 100. I don't know how you can't be.
Right. I wish they were better, though. They seem to be just okay. They're kind of... I think they're below 500 right now. So.
Well, yeah, they did miss Caitlin for 2 weeks, though.
Yeah, Caitlin was out for a bit, so...
And she's definitely driving the team. And but they also beat the best team in the league.
They did?
That was undefeated at the time that they beat them, or one loss or something.
That was the game Caitlin came back.
Yeah, that was the game Caitlin came back against.
I'm hopeful for him. So we have the Missouri connection with Sophie. So
yeah,
I think she's awesome. So yeah,
and she's Missouri born and raised.
Yeah.
She went to I forgot about this. Went to high school in Columbia, and it's like we always made fun of the school, but they're like called the Babies, or so like their mascot was a baby. And we're like, how can you be scary if your mascot's the baby?
And because you went to college with her, so that's as we talked about Columbia earlier. That's where she went. She went to Mizzou. She's a Mizzou grad.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
but she went to Battlefront Babies or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Rockford Babies. And you just drive down the road and there's just this big sign that says "Home of the Babies." It's like, what in the world are we doing
here? Weird mascot name.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess. Of course, it's controversial, but it may not be around forever. They're fighting it, but the Freeburg Midgets taking on the Columbia Babies would be an interesting matchup.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. All right. That's now you're up to speed. So Darren goes to work for Schnucks, and then is a customer here, and then comes to work here. So he's on a different trajectory now. So whole different industry. So it's weird how things happen. You can plan out like your career all you want to, but sometimes your career just plans you out too.
Yep.
So you just got to roll with it sometimes. So there you go. What we'll do next, we'll take a quick break, and then when we come Back, it's going to be time to taste Old Hammer, Old Hammer. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of executive bourbon steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your executive bourbon steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your executive bourbon steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
Hi, this is Rick Brenner, and you are listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Shouldn't it be the legend?
Maybe.
All right, everybody, welcome back. It's Steve and Darren, and it is Hammer Time, or Hamer Time, or Hammer Time.
Watch all three of these be wrong.
Probably. Hey, our code back in the day. So I worked, again, talking about Schnucks. I worked at Schnucks, and in college, I was the overnight manager. The store had gone to a 24-hour store. They just needed someone to babysit the store, really. But I did have to run some reports and things like that. So I said that was part of my business degree. I'm learning real life business. I had to balance the books overnight and stuff like that. But our code, because this is back in the day, if there was someone shoplifting or causing shit, our code on the intercom, so as not to worry customers who might be in there just shopping, was Hammer Time. That would be an announcement to come up, all of our grocery guys to come up and
lay the hammer down.
Lay the hammer down on someone who was stealing. So that would be what we do. Now, these days, it's 100% hands-off. If someone steals, just let them go. It's very loving situation. So if you come in and steal, they're just going to let you walk out with it.
It's because people were getting hurt. Yeah.
Too much hammer time, I guess.
And they don't want to pay for people getting hurt.
Right.
And so you follow them until they leave the store and see if you can scare them out of it, and then you just leave.
And then you just let them go.
Yep.
Just gently let them go. Wave to them, and that's it. I, on the other hand, am a believer, and if they had me on the jury, Schnucks, if you're listening, if I'm on the jury, and you've got someone that got injured because they were stealing a bunch of stuff, I'll be your friend. I'm not. You're gonna. It's gonna end up being okay for you.
Yeah.
Because I've never stolen anything in my life, so I don't have a whole lot of sympathy for people who are stealing from others.
Who's going to pay for the medical bills? The guy that's stealing stuff?
Probably not.
Yeah, that's where the problem comes in. It doesn't matter. They know that they would be in the favorable spot. It wouldn't be bad press.
Right.
It would just be, probably still have to pay for this. So,
right. My thing was always, though, if you don't want to get beat up by a bunch of grocery store guys, don't steal. I mean, I had a very simple formula. Never once did a bunch of grocery store guys jump me. Yeah. I never stole anything. I don't know. Life seems too simple, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure. So, but you're right. It does come down to who's paying the medical bills, I guess.
Yeah.
And these days, I guess they would just turn over and it would just be covered, I guess. I don't even know how. It would. So the hospital just has to eat it, I guess.
So it's not so much about the suit of someone getting hurt. It's the workman's comp suit that comes.
Yeah. We had an apartment complex. Of course, a lot of people still were from the apartment complex. Hard to believe, right? Right behind the store. And that's where most of them would go. If they get out, you'd have to go chase them through the apartments. Then it gets a little dicey. You're on their turf.
Yeah.
Who knows if they've got buddies back there? So we would kind of call off the dogs if they made it all the way to the apartment complex. That was the rule. If you made it past the privacy fence into the apartment complex, you were in the free. We would never tell anybody.
You were at Telegraph, right?
Yeah, Telegraph, yeah. There's apartments right behind there. So, yeah. All right, what's up first, Darren? What are we going to be trying first?
So the first one is their small batch double oaked.
Okay.
103 proof.
Okay.
And it is not called Old Hammer or Hamer, whatever we've been saying. It's Hugh Hammer this time.
Hugh Hammer. So
I don't know if that's like their finishing series.
Could be. It's named after the founder, or this says 1825, so I guess it's a historic brand that was brought back.
By West Fork Whiskey.
Okay.
Resurrected.
Re-resurrected. Or just resurrected.
Yeah. It's not even what it says.
All right, so let's give this one a try. I think 103 proof sounds pretty good for a small batch. So let's see what we got here.
Those is nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Very sweet, easy drinking, very very drinkable. The finish builds, which is nice. It keeps going. So I like that one a lot.
And I didn't look up the prices. We kind of just sat down and started doing this. But every one of these products I've seen below, I haven't seen one over $100. So I think it's safe to say all of these are below $100.
It's an affordable option out there. So that's pretty nice. So this one was very nice. I enjoyed it quite a lot. All right, what's our second one?
So our second one is the 10-year-old straight bourbon whiskey. 100 proof.
Okay.
99% corn, 1% malted barley.
Okay.
And now we're officially under the Old Hammer name.
Okay. 99% corn, 1% malt. This is going to be interesting. In 10 years, this is their Eagle Rare. So
it smells really nice on the nose.
It
Nice
does.
sweetness.
Mm-hmm. Man, that one is. It's hard to believe there's only 3 proof points difference. That drinks like an 80 proof. That drinks easy, folks.
It does. That is really good too.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's excellent.
I do like that they actually put the age for at least 10 years on there because, like, I'm not saying that they're one that would do this, but it almost looks like one of those labels where they put a big number on the front of it, and it's not actually age stated that, but it actually says in 2 different spots, age for 10 years.
Okay, yeah.
Because of, there's one of the bottom shelfers that always does that. It
Right.
just has a big old
Right.
10.
The weird thing about Indiana distilleries is distilled in Indiana. So I think this has to be MGP, right? Because it's then bottled by West Fork Whiskey Company in Indianapolis. But it could be made by them. We don't know.
I know, based off talking to McNew.
All right. Oh, McNew. Once again, McNew's our expert. All right.
Yeah.
What do we got?
That this is not theirs, right? The 10-year is not theirs. That's pretty safe to say. And they were sourcing from MGP. But I think they've started releasing their own distillate. Mm-hmm. So there's really no telling about these two. But they might also be using the Old Hammer label as their source label. Because they have a West Fork label, too, because I've seen that one around. So
Right. I don't know anything about these guys. That's how this comes about. Their PR person reached out to me, and I'm like, I don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
So
I didn't actually know that Old Hammer was West Fork whiskey. I didn't know they were related at all.
Neither did I.
Until I started reading the bottles.
West Fork whiskey sounds like it would be in Seattle or Oregon out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there something West End whiskey, West? I don't know.
Westland,
and the other one,
Westward.
Westward, and West Fork. They should just all hang out.
Yeah. Also, if you have West in your name, I think you should be at least west of the Mississippi.
This is true. This is true. All right, let's. Our last one. This is cask strength. So this comes in what proof here?
118.2.
Okay, I'm liking the sound of that. Let's see what we got here.
Also a bourbon. Oh yeah,
killer. That's like really good. So
yeah. That
even a cherry
that is
note
amazing.
Even a cherry note, so which I always love. So yeah, these are great for sure. So especially if they're in that affordable category, which is cool. And we've got some good whiskey here for sure. So we need to get them on the show.
Yep.
And find out more about them and get their story. So look for an episode of the Bourbon Show coming up soon. So
I think your first question should be how to pronounce the brand.
Yes.
Just because we struggled with that, I don't think they'll like it if we do it 2 times in a row.
I like the laugh into the hiccup there.
Yeah, no, that was great. That was exactly how I planned it.
Yeah. So, interesting stuff. Check it out. Old Hamer. You can pronounce that however you like, but it also translates. It's from German. It means good whiskey. I can't back that up, but
I think it's actually Slovakian for good whiskey.
Fair enough. There you go. That's going to wrap this one up for today. Darren, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at The Bourbon Adventures.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website at thingsabvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Also, come by and see me, the ABV Barrel Shop, the place where you can try before you buy. We're online, abvbarrelshop.com. You never know what's going on. We may be recording a podcast. Also, last but not least, get involved in the show. Please give us a 5-star review. It helps new people find the show. That's important to us. And head over to patreon.com/the ABV Network. That's going to do it for today. We'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye, y'all.
Peace.
So this is...
Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.